Look, if you're a contractor or run a local service business, you are an absolute expert at your trade. But digital marketing, that can feel like a totally different and, honestly, a really frustrating full-time job. So in this explainer, we're going to break down the modern playbook for local growth. We're going to turn all that online confusion into a clear, predictable system. All right, let's jump right in. Here's what we're covering. We'll kick things off with the common problems every contractor is facing online. Then we'll get into the modern solution, what we call a complete growth system. We're going to demystify what it's really like to work with an agency, peek inside the actual marketing toolkit they use, and then wrap up with how to measure what actually matters for your business. All right, let's just get right to it. You know you do fantastic work, right? But does your online presence actually show that? For so many local pros, the answer is a big, frustrating no. And that gap, well, that's exactly where customers get lost. This is probably the number one pain point. I mean, think about it. A potential customer searches for a plumber, a roofer, an electrician, whatever it is. Who pops up? If it's not you, it's your competitor who's getting that call. It's as simple and, yeah, as brutal as that. And here's another one that I'm sure sounds familiar. You're up on a ladder or under a sink, totally focused, and your phone rings. It's a new lead, but you can't answer. By the time you call back, they've already moved on and booked with somebody else. Every single one of those missed calls is literally money walking right out the door. But what if you had a system that could catch every single one of those inquiries? This is where the new tech really shines. AI chatbots and automated text backs can instantly engage with a new lead, answer their basic questions, and even get them booked on your calendar, all while you're busy on the job. It's like having a perfect front desk person who works 24/7 and never takes a break. And we got to talk about ads, right? So many business owners feel like they're just pouring money into a black hole with Google or Facebook. You spend a ton, you get a bunch of clicks from people who aren't even serious, and at the end of the month, you're just left scratching your head wondering what you even paid for. The modern way to do it is so much smarter. It's called programmatic advertising, and it basically uses AI to find people who are actively showing signals that they're ready to buy. So, for instance, imagine a homeowner has been browsing websites for kitchen remodeling ideas. This system sees that behavior and shows them your ad, instead of just blasting it out to an entire zip code. You're targeting real intent, which means you get a way better return on your ad dollars. And all of this leads to a really crucial shift in thinking. The old way was to buy services one at a time. You know, a little SEO over here, some ads over there. The new playbook is all about investing in a single, integrated system where every single piece works together to grow your business. We call this a growth ecosystem. But hey, don't get hung up on the buzzword. Just think of it as your entire digital foundation. It's a complete system designed to automatically handle everything, from getting you found online to nurturing leads and getting those 5-star reviews, which frees you up to do the actual work. Now, what I love about this slide is how clearly it shows the difference in focus. A traditional agency might come to you and say, hey, we got you 1,000 clicks. Great, but how many of those actually turned into paying jobs? A modern growth partner is completely obsessed with the metrics that actually matter to your bank account. How many qualified leads did we get? What was the real return on investment? And are you set up to completely dominate your local market for years to come? It's a totally different game. Okay, so this system thing sounds good, but what does it actually look like when you start? Partnering with an agency can feel like a huge step, but a good one will have a really clear, transparent process to get you going. So those first 90 days are all about discovery and building a solid strategy. It usually starts with a kickoff call to make sure you're all on the same page. Then they do a deep dive into your current setup. By about day 30, you should be looking at and approving a clear plan of attack. Campaigns usually go live around day 40, and from there, it's all about continuous improvement and reporting. And that strategy session, that's a really important step. This isn't about the agency just telling you what they're going to do. Not at all. It's a collaborative meeting. They take all the data they've gathered, and they work with you to build a plan that lines up with your specific business goals, whether that's more roofing jobs or maybe higher-end kitchen remodels, whatever that might be. And you know, it's that collaborative professional approach that really builds trust. It's what makes you feel confident that you've put your business's growth in the right hands. You feel like you've got a real partner, which is exactly what this client is talking about here. So what are the actual tools inside this modern growth system? Let's pop the hood and take a look at the two main engines that really drive everything. First up, you've got local SEO. Now, forget all the complicated jargon you've heard. The goal here is simple. It is singular. When a homeowner in your town searches for what you do, your business needs to be in that top 3 map pack on Google. That's it. That's where almost all the clicks and calls happen. That is the money spot. And this really shows what it takes to get there. And listen, it's not a one-time fix. It's a consistent, ongoing process of optimizing your Google profile, building your authority across the web, analyzing what your top competitors are doing right, and tracking your rankings across every single neighborhood you serve. The other powerhouse in this toolkit is automation, and it's all managed through something called a CRM. Just think of that as the digital command center for all your customer interactions. This is the engine that saves you a ton of time and makes sure no lead ever falls through the cracks again. I mean, just think about this for a second. A system that automatically texts back a missed call, that follows up with a lead who filled out a form on your site, that asks for a review after a job is done, and that even reaches out to old customers you haven't heard from in a while. This isn't about working harder. It's about having a system that works for you. This is how you scale your business without having to hire more people. So, you've got the system, you've got the tools, but how do you actually know if it's working? This is the final and, frankly, the most important piece of the puzzle, moving from that feeling of marketing chaos to predictable, measurable results. The most important thing is to stop chasing those meaningless vanity metrics like clicks or impressions. Instead, you focus on the numbers that actually impact your bottom line. We're talking about your rank on Google Maps. Are you visible where your customers actually live? The number of real calls and leads you're getting. Is the phone ringing more? Your cost to acquire a customer. Is your marketing efficient? And your online star rating. Is your reputation bringing in new business? These are the numbers that truly define growth. In this quote right here, from the founder of CoreReach Agency, it just sums up the whole philosophy perfectly. Your expertise is your trade. You shouldn't have to become a marketing expert on top of that. The whole goal is to have a reliable system that just does the work for you so you can focus on what you do best. So I'll leave you with this one question to think about. Right now, is your online presence an automated tool that consistently brings you new business? Or is it just another stressful job on your endless to-do list? The answer to that question will tell you everything you need to know about what your next step should be.